team, yes. So before we start this video is brought to you by Manscaped. Please check them out if you're looking to keep yourself nice and tidy in the off season when you're trying to get massive. Yes, get that touch a little bit leaner when we are full blown off season, or if that just be looking after that area, if you know what I mean. Check out the Lawnmower 4.0. It's even got a nice light on it so you can see what you're doing. Use code GOLD to get 20% off and free shipping. Enjoy the video. God damn it, YouTube, you pieces of shit. Right, wasn't calling you pieces of shit. The fucking camera's a piece of shit. Well, it's my phone and I put it on a tripod, and sometimes the tripod doesn't want to work. That's why it's a piece of shit. Welcome to the video. So obviously the main part of the video is at the end. So if you want to watch that, go watch that now. Obviously all about anabolics. One of the things that I didn't mention was about getting blood work, but I was trying to not state the obvious. So please, 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 before you consider it, blood work must be done. Into the bit of the video, it was me fucking about. I haven't got nothing crazy planned. We're like, what is it? Yeah, we're like 2 days out from the Christmas classic. Christmas dinner, me, sweets and shit food. Just gonna bang it all in. You know, that's how we do Christmas. At the end of the day, it's one day. It's a good time. I literally do nothing bodybuilding at all on Christmas. I just eat and give myself a bad stomach because I eat too much chocolate and I get a deli belly. And I go for about 5 poos on Boxing Day because my gut's fucked. I don't care, I enjoy it. You know what's looking good? This upper half, isn't it? This top really complements that upper half today. I like that. It makes me feel big. That's something that to talk about, maybe. Feeling big, not feeling big. Anyway, it's all about getting massive. So we're going to enjoy our Prima Rice. I worked this morning to smash it out. This is why you're starting the day off at me at pre-workout rather than starting off with me eating my first meal, being a twat and being on the spin bike. So I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to try and film a little bit of lifts, but also keep the frequency of the session because I don't want my frequency of the session to be piss poor. One thing about Christmas is training over Christmas. For myself, I won't be training. Reason being, I'm due a deload. I was meant to deload 2 weeks ago, but I was feeling really, really good. And I was like, you know what? I could just push this to Christmas and have Christmas Eve off, Christmas Day, Boxing Day off, and then jump straight back in on the 28th instead of the 27th because I have 27th off anyway. I'll have a nice sort of 5-day rest. So like a nice 5 days of rest because I'll have tomorrow, Thursday off. And I'll rest up well. And, you know, I'm like, fuck it. So I did. But today, fuck. I know when I need to deload because getting up is very difficult. For me, I'm a guy who gets up. Once I'm up, I'm up. I'm a whippy snapper, yeah? I'm ready to go. I'm going crazy. I've been getting incredibly strong as well, so feeling quite beaten up when I'm waking up. It's like, okay. Obviously, you know, I'm only running a cruise dose of test, so we're not like have super physiological amount of testosterone at the minute, so we're not have that recovery. We're not using GH, so we don't have that super physiological recovery. I'm saying that too much. We don't have that optimized recovery, as we're going to say, or massive recovery. So I can feel it. I'm waking up. I'm feeling it. I felt a bit, I was so tired when I woke up. I was like, oh my God. And I actually went back to bed. I'm not going to lie to you. I did 25 more minutes in bed. Woke up, still felt a bit groggy, but I was like, I've got to get on with my day. You know, my clients are there when they need me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm like. So, do you know what I mean? It was about getting the coffee and then I banged in 2 espressos and I was fucking ready to go. However, that's not like me, and that's settled in. Yesterday I felt it a little bit, so it's something to think about. You know, deloads are important. Oh no, so never had time off. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm not so-and-so. I can feel it. If I need some rest, I'm going to take some rest. I'm going to come back and I'm going to carry on and get big. You know, there's a reason why I did 45 pounds of stage weight in 2.5 years. Get massive. Huh? Oh, look at that. I don't know what, that was one of those Tesco things. Yeah, I didn't put it in the box. Oh, because I'm a fucking nutter. Or it was left in my bag. Which one was it? It was the latter. Anyway, pre-workout meal. Get massive. Salt on the go. And we'll play a game called Getting Off Your Tits on Full Tilt CMP pre-workout. Not a plug, it's just the one that I'm using at the minute. It is nice though, if you want to try it. It's actually quite cheap, it's about 25 quid. Not bad for a fucking strong pre-workout. And I'm going to see how fucking red my head can go with the niacin. We're at the gym, here it is, Gaines, Bedford. This is the day where we're going to train. This is my home gym. So like when we're training local, this is where we train. Full of equipment, there's a geezer looking at me out the window. Health minus, it's 3 degrees, mate. It's fucking cold. Say we're going to play with the niacin. There we go. You don't have that fucking diesel engine going in your ear holes, you know what I mean? Sorry for a headphone warning. This is full of pre-workout. Yes. About scoop and a half. Scoop and a half is pretty good. I think it's got 250 caffeine in, so you don't really want more than their serving, because anything more than that, it's going to make your winkle picker disappear, if you know what I mean. Too many stims, mate. Some of those pre-workouts. You're like, where's it gone? What's going on? Right, here we go. It's the same flavour as last week. I don't know what it is. Why do some pre-workouts tingle your lips, don't they? Really interesting. I mean, it will be something around the lines of the beta-alanine, etc. What's in there? One of the ingredients, I'm pretty sure I could suss it, but I can't remember what the ingredients is on this one. The gym looks empty today. Looks good. Yesterday, went in the gym. Every fucker was in there. Everyone. It was 5 o'clock and it was 12. I was like, what's going on? I'm having a fucking crisis here. It's really cold today. As you saw, 3 degrees. If you're somewhere where it does get colder than that, you're probably like, Josh, that ain't even cold. But for me, it's cold. I almost cried. It was that cold when I walked out. You know, us bodybuilders, they say that we're sensitive. Sensitive to the fucking hot and cold, eh? Right, gonna go for a massive piss in the gym toilet, and then we're gonna get massive. All right, team, yes. With a little voice memo going on. What's going on? So, joining me. Just thought I would just, on the video, just talk over this little bit of segment of training. As you can see me, here we're with the prime handles here in the gym. This is actually a piece that was given to me from a client. Big shout out to Big Darren. He sent me over the gym pin stuff with the prime handles. Fucking fantastic piece of kit here to do the chest supported lat pull downs. Absolutely fucking smashing piece of kit. And today we did Smith rows. Fantastic, usually, so later in the video I'll go in to obviously explain to why we did Smith rows and why we're using a Smith row now rather than what we were doing. We were doing obviously 2 hip hinges. I was hip hinging every 7th day, but it just, well, I'll go into it in the video, so we just watch me just fucking eat the Smith machine fucking for dinner, you know what I mean? Just fucking have it. Go on, lad, here you go. Fucking hell, that was a bit of a sketchy dismount, but we got it. And then, so here we have the single arm, obviously like a low row here, just absolutely fantastic. So this was actually a pull session, but a pull session, it's back, arms with your rear delts in there, you know what I mean? It's still a bad, whatever you want to fucking call it. It's about getting the fucking work done, innit, at the end of the day. Don't confuse it. Don't confuse it. But this was really nice as well. This is actually my second set on here. The first set I did 70 on a side, and then with this one, obviously you can see me taking a little micro pause at the top as well. Just something that we're doing on this one, just to make sure it's just solid. You know what I mean? Really fucking tax that back, and like that last one, you see that me twisting it around. I'm actually twisting it around there where I'm not, using the back there. I'm actually twisting it around, using a little bit of momentum, which we don't want to be doing. And using the grip lock straps. These straps are fucking fantastic, I tell you that. These they strap around your hand like a Velcro strap, and they sit there, and you can see them with this one here. And this is a great bit of camera work for me here, stutter.com as well. Just cuts off completely. But you can see the grip lock straps, they strap round like that. I tell you what, fantastic. Doesn't feel like my fucking wrist is going to pop off when I have it. You ever had that where it feels like it's going to pop off? Fucking disgusting. Anyway, me finishing up my rows is the last exercise, so I was absolutely cunted. Doing Smith rows. So we did have deadlifts, and then next week would be RDLs, but the 7-day frequency on a hip hinge, he just can't recover from it. Hips, lower back, everything. There's some bits, doing more harm than good. So just sticking to an RDL on every 14th day rather than every 7th day doing a hip hinge. Favour the RDL over just because feel it better, bit of hamstring, bit of glutes, lower back, targets that area nicely, So, bit out of breath. Smith rows are in, really fun, he's really good, just because I have to be strict on them. Barbell rows, like I can be loose, bit everywhere, really easy to get obsessed by the weight, but that goes for all lifts. But with this, it's about just progressing. I've taken it from 70 to 80 to 90 kilos now, so and we're keeping the tempo and control there. So that's the most important bit as well. So it's everything. So I thought I'd put that in there, cover this bit. Anyway, getting a good sweat on, getting a good pump. It's fantastic. Me, being the clever cookie that I am, left the tripod in the motor. Post-workout dinners. Chicken is just cooking. I'm literally just sitting here chilling just for a bit. Rice and chicken, just getting it nice and warm. Wait for it the right moment. We've got some piri-piri on it. And one thing I like to have post-workout, got some proper hydration here. But with my meal, just lately, banging it in. Fantastic. That's the last one in the fridge, so the wife's going to be pissed. She can go get some on the way back from work. The video will continue with what the video is all about before I ramble on too much. So, didn't film all my back session. You saw a few of my lifts, probably the main lifts there as well. But rear delts were done. Arms got trained as well during this session. So, but they're things we didn't film. Enjoy the rest of this video. And if I haven't said it already, please comment below, like and subscribe. And plenty more content coming. Right, team, so to the juicy bit of the video. So obviously I'm filming this on a different day. This is just because I like to utilise my time wisely. Also, I'm in the mood. I'm getting it up. I'm feeling good. I'm wearing a Manscaped top. Do you know what? I thought I looked a little bit more whammers. Maybe it's the angle. Title of the video, really important. Things to consider when obviously about PED usage. So, you know, you're at a point in time where you're thinking, you know what? I think it's time to hop on. Majority of us do it too early. Do it too early. Do it when things aren't in place. For me, most certainly wasn't. Didn't have certain things put in place. You know, was overtraining, wasn't training proper. Had a proper training regimen sorted. Was just being a bit of a dick. You know, and I just jumped into that deep end. I was very lucky for the people around me. Did educate me, they did help me, and they advised me well, you know. So things to consider, some big things to consider. Enough of me talking about myself. So one thing I would consider massively before, obviously, or when you are going to jump on, is not listening to the person who's selling it to you. That is one of my number one rules. Regardless how much you trust them, I was very fortunate that people that they did not take advantage. They literally actually took. They were reluctant to give me it. They were like, you know, wait till you're older, mate. I was 21 at the time. They were like, wait till you're like 25. Let's wait till you're a little bit older, mate. You know, there's no need. But I was really keen. And, you know, after watching me, I think after about, you know, like 3 more months of me just training, just smashing it, just getting it done. I didn't pester them. But we talked about it, and there's things we discussed, and it was like, all right, kids, come here. And that was literally it. They didn't take advantage. Whereas, you know, you hear things like people will say, oh, you know, the guy's selling to you, oh, this only works if you take 2 mil or 1.5 mil every week. That's because he wants you to come back, or she or them want you to come back every month, yeah, to them. So every month you're buying some bits off them. So they're making revenue. The person selling it to you is making money at the end of the day. That's probably number one rule. Why not to listen to them? Because they're probably they're not thinking about your health. They're not thinking about actually utilising stack design. They're thinking about fattening their wallets up a little bit. There's greed involved. So that's a big thing to consider. Also, another thing to consider is the possibility of complications later in life. Things to weigh up. Infertility can happen. Obviously, there is methods and ways that to try and get it back, and they do work. You know, with science, we can get that back. Other things, atrophy, your balls, that's going to happen. You know, you utilise this for a little longer. Look at me, I've gone red, talking about bollocks. Things, when you go on it for a bit of time, things are going to happen. You know, your testes are going to atrophy. They're not being used. You're no longer needed to produce your own testosterone. Your body registers this, realises it's getting it synthetically or exogenously, shall we say, and it will shut off. A big thing to consider is setting you some money aside for blood tests. You know, your bits aren't going to be expensive. Actual bits aren't expensive to buy. But your health ups, your blood tests, these are going to add up. So making sure that you've got money aside to service your body, to make sure that you can get your health ups, you know, bits and pieces that are going to prevent collateral damage. This is important. It's like you need to have these in place. You save money to make sure you can get your car MOT'd and serviced and insurance. Well, your insurance and your service and your blood test, that's what it is for you if you're going to utilize this, you know. You've got to think that your body is a machine and it needs to be looked after. So, you know, making sure you know what's going on underneath the hood is really important, and making sure that we are servicing it and we are taking the adequate health subs alongside. It's really important, and it's so obtainable now. I mean, now you have no issue. You can buy Strom Sports Nutrition, trained by JP. These two companies, I mean, there's Revive, all these guys, right? You can literally just buy their stacks and they have them, and it just gets all the goodness that you have. Stuff like ashwagandha, stuff like IP6, citrus bergamot, that is going to directly have a good impact and directly prevent, cause prevention of any long-term sort of issues that you can have. So a few things to consider there, that people I don't feel are going into. Having some financial backup, having some financial money put aside, spare cash, that you are, all right, this is for this endeavour, and this is to service my body, this is for this, because it does add up. £99 for a blood test, it's £100. That's a lot of money to be to then just have to dish out. You may want to get mid-cycle bloods. Important to get mid-cycle bloods, quite in fact. Not a lot of people do it. Why is it important to get mid-cycle bloods? Because then you're going to see how you are whilst you are utilising bits. I mean, especially if you're going to be a user for a long term, it's important. Also, another thing to consider is how long are you looking to optimise your body? This will be about, are you going to consider to cruise and blast, or are you going to PCT? Now, PCT, come off completely, PCT properly, it's a long job. You're looking at good 4-6 months, and then you probably want to stay off for a while. There's no point getting your system started again and shutting it straight back down again. In my opinion, it's not as healthy. It's probably more healthy to cruise. Because you're not completely turning your system on, completely crashing it, turning it on and crashing it. At least if you are shutting it off, you are shutting it off, if that makes sense. Well, something to consider as well would be, if you are doing this for competitive purposes within your sport, I'm not just saying bodybuilding here, to sort of, if your career is going to be 15 years long, and you're going to be using bits between in those years, good 10 years, something that could be considered would be looking at relying on testosterone for the rest of your life, because you are going to shut yourself down, right? You might be able to get your bits working to have kids, but actual testosterone is not going to be in the good numbers, man. That's something to consider. If you listen to a lot of elite athletes who were elite in their past, a lot of them rely on testosterone now. So that's something to consider as well. Just a few things I think is important. I obviously will dive into a little bit of, there can be health repercussions with these, so you need to weigh this up as well. Now, I don't want this video. Someone actually sent me a request and said, look, you should do a video about long-term health risks and about health risks, consider health risks, taking PEDs and what they are. I'm not just going to do a video about health risks, just or solely. So this is why I'm feeding it in with things to consider. So, there are things that can happen, obviously, when you're utilising this bit. In my opinion, predominantly, it's actually being heavy that's going to cause issues. Certainly with, obviously, like blood pressure and kidney issues, it tends to be being heavy for a long time. So when you get heavy, it doesn't matter if you're 300 pounds of fat or 300 pounds of muscle. It's 300 pounds, and that for a long period of time isn't healthy. So that's why you see bodybuilders retire and they downsize, because it's only that size for the competitive purposes. At the end of the day, it's a sport. Strongmen, elite strongmen, you don't see them. Eddie Hall is so famous that is a famous example of someone downsizing. But one thing to combat that would be the blood test, would be the health subs, So also selection of compounds, things that you can use, stack design, prevention of skewing your lipid profile and having a skewed lipid profile on by the utilization of AIs. Why would we need to, what do we need to use an AI? Are we better off at actually having a better stack design where we don't need to utilize an AI? Something to consider as well. So obviously a few things to consider there. I hope I've touched base with a few bits, and if you are considering taking it, don't let anyone force you into doing it. It's your decision. As Seth Feroci says, sums up really nice, it's a personal decision. If you're within a sport, just make sure that you're doing it under the guidelines. I have to say that. I'm not a doctor. This is entertainment purposes only, but, you know, just passing some experience onto you from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this has been an insight into a little bit to consider anabolics. Any sort of issues along the line, get them in the comments below. We can have a little chat. And remember, it's a honest and open zone on this channel. Anyway, have a fantastic holidays, whatever you're celebrating. And the biggest thing we can do on the holidays is get massive.